Okay,
Hello there.
Hi. Let me go to the comments. So we've got any world but tours. I'll click
Hello.
on this. Hi. So
We'll be with you tomorrow, Luke.
yeah.
Popular guy.
Yeah. We've got Red Leader 1. Hello,
Everyone.
Red Leader 1. Galay, as they say down under.
Yeah.
So today I'm joined with Darth Marc from Blue Harvest Vintage Toys, and I thought what we'd do is I've got some questions to ask Darth Marc about his channel, and I've got quite a lot of questions actually. So I'll go through those questions, and then maybe at the end, if you've got questions, we'll answer them. Hi, Only One Kenobi.
Hey.
Hi, Stormy T. Hi, Only One Kenobi.
Hello there.
So yeah,
Kenobi.
So we'll go through the questions, and hopefully that give Marc a chance to talk about his channel. So my name's K-Wall anyhow, so that's a hard name to pronounce. So K will do. That's what my best friend calls me, and then go through the questions, and then maybe Darth Marc will ask me a few questions, and also if you've got some questions as well. So I've got quite a few questions here. Being pretty thorough. So okay, so my first question to Marc, in a nutshell, how would you describe your channel?
Brilliant. It's just something if you love toys, if you love nostalgia. I know it's called Blue Harvest Vintage Toys, but it's not all toys. It's mostly 90% toys, 90% Star Wars toys. Anyway, but yeah, it's nostalgia. I did a video last week about the 80s videos being a lot better than they are now, and that is a series that I want to do about the 80s and how things in the 80s were better than they were now. So that is something. But like I do rants and things like that. So.
Well, I just watched your rant on the what's it called, the Fandom Menace. So,
I lost a couple of subs because of that. So if anybody wants to sub me, I could do with it now.
Okay, so my second question is: your channel puts out a lot of content. Can you give examples of this?
I try and get one up every day. I've been doing it since March. Well, I think I've been doing it most of the year that I've been doing a video a day. Just because it keeps me busy, keeps me happy. I like making content for people to watch because I know people are stuck at home, nothing to do, and I do it myself. The first thing I do in the morning is wake up, put YouTube on. If any of my subscribers has put a new video on, you know what I mean? I love it. So that's why I put something on most days. The only day I don't put them on is Tuesday and Fridays when we do the live streams. I sometimes put them on, but not always. So yeah, mostly about vintage Star Wars, obviously, but I do modern toys as well and some of the old lines.
Yeah, good.
I just like to do toy histories, and like last night on the live stream. Tez Rowlands didn't know that the X-Wing was different between the Kenner and the Pallet toy. So I've done a video about that today that goes up tomorrow. I've just put it up on my page, and so that's going up tomorrow. So yeah, it's just like little things that ping in my head and think if somebody wants to know anything about vintage Star Wars, I'll do a video on it. Simple as that.
Yeah, because you told me something I didn't know about. I can't remember exactly what it was, but you told me something.
You're always learning, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
About Star Wars, vintage Star Wars. Every day you're learning something new. Every day.
Okay, so third question is your Pallet Boys live stream. How successful has it been in your opinion?
I love it. I think it could live streams. There's some live streams got thousands of people. I think our credit record is 53. I think it was 60. We got 60 last week. 60. I mean, that doesn't sound a lot, but I think when I started doing it by myself, sat on the sofa, I had 3 people in the chat, and I was doing 3-4 hours at a time. And now, we started doing it every night. We were doing it every night, 7 nights a week when we first started. Now we're back down to 2 nights a week, doing 2 hours. So we do 4 hours a week. But I think it's quality over quantity. I just love everybody that comes in and everybody that chats with us. I just love it. Shabby.
Next question. You have made some good friends on both sides of the pond.
Oh, yeah.
So
I can't say enough of the people. Not just the Pallet boys, because I love them all, but I love everybody, as I say, in the chat. Anybody that comments, anybody that comes in, all the guests we've had on, you've been on a couple of times, and you know what I mean? It's brilliant. I just love it. I do.
Yeah. Next question. Yeah, I mean, for me, I enjoy Pallet Boys. I like being in that sort of little community, that little bunch of...
Yeah, that's it. It's a community.
Guys,
I started it because I was bored on a night, and I thought, I used to do it before, and I used to have my Star Wars podcasts. I just used to do a live stream on a Sunday. So I thought, I'll do that again. I'll do it, maybe an hour. And I got these guys came in, so I decided that these guys, why don't you just come on with me? Instead of typing, me talking all the time, just come on. We can have a discussion. All it is 4 or 5 guys just having a conversation, mostly about toys, but there's other topics get talked about as well. So anything that comes up in the chat, we'll talk about.
Yeah, I mean that leads on to our next question, which is how easy is it to come up with something to talk about?
It can be hard sometimes. It can be hard. I keep having to poke him with a stick, and no. But like with John, you wind John up, you can set him off, and he'll go on. Yeah, and that's the good thing. We're all 5 different guys who have different, similar types of collecting, but different enough to all know something about something different.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't really dry up. I don't think we dry up.
Yeah, I mean, because I've done a few with Action Figure Grade, and I mean, it's hard to come up with topics because we focus mainly on vintage Star
we don't
Wars.
come up with topics, though. We just wing it most of the time. We just like I said, we're just 5 lads talking about toys.
Yeah,
it's like we're sat in a pub having a pint and we're just talking about toys, and that's what it is. That's basically what it is. It's not professional. It's just 5 guys talking about toys.
Yeah, and the slightly wider community chatting in the comments.
Yeah.
It must have been tough during the first lockdown doing Pallet Boys 5 days a week.
7.
Wow.
We did 7 at the beginning. Yeah, we did 7 nights a week.
Wow.
Yeah, we were at that point we were kind of drying up, and sometimes we cut it short because there's not. If we're talking about, if we were like a news channel talking about, we do talk about the latest things because there's that much coming out at the moment. So we do talk about things like that. But like people in the chat just brings things up, and I'll look on Google or I'll look on wherever and bring that up, and we'll talk about it. And they send me pictures over, and I show them. It's all about the chat as well as us guys talking.
Yeah,
best community ever, definitely.
That leads to our next question, which says, in a way, Pallet Boys is a bit of a hub, bringing many YouTubers together to be on the show or interact in the comments. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely, because basically one of the reasons why we did it is just, well, the guys that came in, the 5 guys that we have, four guys and me that we have in now, we just basically try to get them all subs, and everybody that comes on, we get at least 5 subs for them. Luke came in last week, and he got 10 subs. That's great. What we want to get the smaller YouTubers to get more subs. I mean, I want more, obviously, but we want to get everybody more subs because we don't compete. We're not competing against each other. That's a good thing about YouTube and our community. We help. Everybody helps each other. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, because I'd say Boss Bounty is probably the biggest that comes on. I mean, we did get Sith Lord 229's been on as well, hasn't he? So you know,
I've got some big subscribers. They don't come on the chat, but I've got some really big subscribers. Yeah.
Only One Kenobi, they're big ones. So you know, that's you know, it's good to bring the smaller channels and bigger channels together.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So it's great to interact and talk about a passion we all have, which is action figures and all that sort of stuff. Let me see my next question. Okay, what have you? No, wait a minute. Let me see. In a way, oh yeah, I've just answered that. What have been some of your favorite moments from Pelly Boys?
I wouldn't say it was a favorite moment, but it's one that stands out. Is a certain channel did a video on us because we talked about one of his videos. I want to name him. He's everything's okay now. He actually comes on and talks to us. So yeah, everything's sorted out. Hey, Read 5.
Yeah, hi.
Is it Deanna or Greg?
Yeah.
We had a bit of we got accused of bullying basically because we put his video up and we.
Oh dear.
But we had a discussion about. I think he just caught the bit where we were maybe taking the piss a bit, but we had a discussion about it, and he took offence. But yeah, probably not my best moment.
Oh well,
it's something I can look back and you make mistakes and you grow from it, don't you? And,
yeah,
you know, it's something you move on from.
Yeah, I mean, you with whatever you put out, you're not always going to please everybody. So you know, you put out what you like, and your opinions are going to be
really definitely
your own. So yeah,
you've got to have a thick skin if you're on YouTube. Definitely, definitely. I mean, we've had some amazing guests on. I mean, Read 5 came on, and we want to back their book. Definitely want to back their book. And we had Joe from the Leicester Vintage Toy Shop. What a guy! Wow. What a funny guy he was. He was absolutely. I'd love to have him on every week because he was hilarious. Also, we've had loads of different people. Junkman. We've got Junkman on. That Junkman.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah. He was. He was a bit shy at the beginning, and then he moved. It was loosened up a bit at the end. It's not mentioned as any time since, but I don't think he enjoyed it that much.
Yeah. Next question.
No, you can't please anyone. You're right, Andy.
Yeah. I mean, would you like if you look at the demographics of Pallet, like your core audience, it'd be the same for mine because we're the same age. Would you say that Pallet Boy, attracts a largely 30+ audience from the UK, USA, Canada, and Europe? Yeah.
And I was looking at the demographic the other day. 45 to 55, 35 to 44, and 45 to 55 mostly. We've got some younger ones, some maybe older ones. I think we've got 0.1% of women, 99.9% of men. Yeah. It's interesting looking at that. Yeah, it's Canada, America, UK, obviously, Australia. I actually got a German guy on. So I've tried to change my channel thing to German, French, and hey, Slatius.
Yeah, I mean, I get quite a few views from Mexico as well. So you know, it's probably because I show a lot of the old vintage stuff as well. So
so I put Spanish in because I thought that'll cover that. I'll probably cover that as well. So.
Yeah. Here's a cheeky question: who came up with the name Pelly Boys?
I think it was me really, but I just I think it was just because nobody could think of a better name, basically.
Okay. Yep. Good.
I mean, we've got John who's American and Shabby who's in America, so they're not actually the Kenner boys, are they?
Yeah. Okay. Number 4. I mean, part 4 of our questions. So you often show live streams.
Yeah.
that can go on for many hours. You get a few of us commenting in the comments, etc. This must be pretty grueling.
No, I enjoy it. I mean, it's end of the day, it's my job. Or was my job before when I got locked down. I'm freelance toy expert for auction houses, and one in particular. And obviously, I can't get down there now. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing video. Got more time to do that.
Well, you've answered the next question, which says you have a bit of a background in collectible toy sales. Would you care to elaborate?
Yes. Well, I've obviously collected since I was, God knows, 4, 5. I had Action Man before Star Wars, and Star Wars just took over from then. I mean, I had all the 70s toys. My mum buy them all for me. But leading on from that, I did have a toy shop. I had a toy shop. The Blue Harvest is actually the business name that we had for the toy business. We were online for a couple of years. Then we went into a shop and then went back online. And I do buy and sell now and again if I see something. You know, it's a bargain price. I'll buy it and then sell it on if I don't want it.
Yeah.
But basically, I do freelance work for auction houses, and I do a bit of writing as well. I wrote an article that went in over 130 national newspapers, and I did a piece for Wall Street Journal as well. Well, helped out on a piece for the Wall Street Journal as well. I haven't got on the BBC yet, though.
Oh.
That'd be nice.
We've got a question from Salacious Ron. So it's for you. Question for Mark. Little Salacious wants to know when he is getting his invite.
You know what's happening there, Salacious. You know what's happening. You know what the score is. You can come on here. Come on here one time. You're more than welcome, but yeah, you know why? You know why? You're a naughty boy, that's why. Fits in pretty well with us. Your microphone's gone. I can't hear you. Smash it with an hammer. You have to turn it off, turn it back on again. That's what I'd do. You can hear me, can't you? You can obviously hear me. I can hear me. No. Hey, it's the Mac Show. He'll be back in a minute, don't worry about it. Technical difficulties. He also has technical difficulties with his audio. I can't do anything from this end, I'm afraid. Which is nice, actually, because I'm usually the one that's putting the chat up and looking at and doing everything else. So it's just relaxing for me just to sit back and get asked the questions. It's different. So anybody who wants to ask me anything, let me know. If not Star Wars, what would your collector focus be? That's a good question. You know, that's a really good question. I would maybe Star Trek. Maybe. I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't think there's anything better than Star Wars, is there? I've got some Star Trek figures. I've got all sorts. You can see down there. Corgi. I'd like to get all the Corgi cars. Or the TV and film Corgi cars. Or maybe the 124 scale diecast TV cars. I've got the Ectomobile. I would like the Knight Rider, Christine, things like that, yeah. TV and film cars, I would say. Corgi or diecast, things like that. Is it back? You're back.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, great.
I'll keep them entertained.
Oh, great, great. I was just going to say that remember that live stream you were doing, the Vectis live stream, and I ended up buying something by yeah, that was a Visionaries figure because I've never done live bidding before, so it was totally my fault. So but
you've got to be careful. You have got to be careful. I mean, I've won a couple of nice things. I won that Atari Star Wars sealed Empire Strikes Back game for £25, and I won the Darth Vader carry case for £25. It came with a lot of figures, modern figures, but then I opened up the weapons hatch, and there was a Yoda, a vintage Yoda, and a vintage R2D2.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I mean, I tend to buy a lot off eBay, so whereas Action Figure Grader tends to buy a lot of Facebook, but Facebook is so hard to win stuff on because there's people just hanging on Facebook, and as soon as anything good comes, they just snap it up straight away.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That answer this question.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I've still got the money in the bank ready for when it is available. Hopefully, it will be available again next year. But I should have had it now. It should be here now. But for Smiths, well, it wasn't Smith's fault really. It were Arcade one up, but there you go. I'm not getting my Christmas present this year.
Oh dear. Oh well. Let's hope we have Christmas this year. Okay, next set of questions.
That's true.
You also do a series on tracking of prices using the Star Wars tracker. Yeah. I really like this sort of thing myself. How useful do you feel that the tracker is?
Oh, I mean, I don't get paid to talk about it, but I just talk about it because I love it. I use it. I use it all the time. I should talk about it a bit more, but I might do that later on. When I get to 1,000 and I can do a community, I can do a join or something like that. I'll do community live streams where I might do things like that because the tracker, Star Wars tracker, if you're a vintage collector, you're just starting or you're halfway through, even if if you're still looking for things, this is something you need to have. It's 20, I think it's $30 a year, but I've got $5 off. I've got a code for $5 off if you want to know. But the thing is, you get your money back straight away by the money you save on buying figures at the right price. But there's not just figures, there's the vehicles. Is anything vintage Star Wars on there? Anything.
Yeah. You also bring in all the latest news of what's happening with Hasbro's latest offerings and the significant action figure Star Wars news. So is it your aim to provide an all-round complete service to viewers like me?
I try to. That's what I want to do. You know what I mean? If, like you say, if anybody wants to know anything about vintage, vintage anything really, but mainly vintage Star Wars, I will do a video on it. Simple as that. Yeah.
What are your favorite vintage 1970s, early 90s toy lines?
Vintage 70s. Action Man, probably.
Yeah.
Action Man. I had Action Man before. The thing is, I don't have nostalgia for Action Man like I do for Star Wars. It's really weird. It's really weird. But
yeah. Well, I had the Action Man as well. I remember the Adventurer with the beard and the blue denim outfit. I had the German Africa Corps.
The eagle eyes and the pull string.
Yeah. I had the British Paratrooper, the American World War II Paratrooper. So, yeah, I had quite a few outfits and figures. But, I'm the same. It's Star Wars that really is the thing for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's other lines that I do show on my channel, like even though I didn't have them, the Mego Star Trek figures.
I had the Spock. It's funny because I had Amigo Spock and I had Amigo Robin.
Yeah.
And I had another one. I can't remember what it is. But I always remember the Spock because the dog we had at the time chewed its foot off.
Oh dear.
It had one foot.
That's highly illogical. Yeah, I mean those figures. What else? Stinky Space 1999 Eagle. That's something that really.
Yeah, I'd love all that again. I would love it all again. My favorite toy of all time is the Batmobile.
Yeah,
the Batmobile. I would love that 3-pack again with the Batmobile, Batboat, and Batcopter. But they're so expensive.
Yeah. I mean, I've still got mine from childhood, but it's totally battered. Yeah. What other toys? I'm trying to think. Black hole figures. Obviously, that's a passion of mine.
Galactica. They were all integrated with my Star Wars figures when I first started collecting Star Wars figures. Because I used to play with them all together. Because when you first start with Star Wars figures, you only had a few, didn't you? So you had to integrate your figures you had to make them as aliens.
Yeah. Well, at least we never had to wait as much as, like in America, they had to wait a long time from the movie coming out to the figures arriving. We didn't have to wait so long.
No.
What was your first vintage Star Wars figure? I know. Is it Darth Vader?
Darth Vader, yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember vividly getting that and taking it home. And that day, I can just remember that day. It's weird. I cannot remember any other figure, getting any other figure but that one.
I can remember the first few because I can remember my first was the Han Solo small head on the Pallet card because my mum told me that she was going to take me and my sister to the local toy shop, which was in the Portobello Road. And in my mind, I imagined them to be they would be the size of Mego figures, like 5 inches or so. And then we got there and you're amazed how small they are. But, you know, that figure plus I think the second one was the Ben Kenobi, then maybe third was Darth Vader, fourth Stormtrooper. So, you know, I remember vividly. I remember getting the Ben Kenobi and tripping over and cutting my knee or something on the way home from you know, that just shows you how significant these figures are because you remember such tiny details from 42 years ago. It's amazing.
I remember where I got my Ben Kenobi from because I got it in France.
Oh wow. Yeah, that Meccano, yeah.
If I'd only kept that card.
Well, yeah, obviously I've got one. But that's one of the more common ones anyhow. Yeah,
it is, and the Jawa.
So my next question was going to be, but it's patently obvious that is Star Wars #1 with you, but obviously it is, and the same with me. So we don't need to answer that one. If you could go back in a time capsule and acquire one vintage item, what would it be?
You won't be able to get a rocket fighting Boba Fett, but I'd go back and get an early bird
kit.
Get an early bird, not the kit. Well, maybe the kit as well as the package. But yeah, because that is one of the things I really do want is a double telescoping
Luke.
Yes, I'd love the other two as well, but I'm never going to get those. I've got a chance of getting the Luke, but not the other two.
Yeah, I mean the Ben and the Vader are probably the most valuable.
Ben Kenobi is
of the vintage Star Wars figures. So yeah. Let's see. What would I get? Maybe just the vinyl Cape Jawa on the card.
That'd be nice as well.
I mean, like say 8 years ago, because this is something I regret not buying, was a loose graded vinyl Cape Jawa, because then it was about 200 and no more than 250 pounds.
Yeah,
but there was quite a lot of them on eBay, so you sort of think they're common and that they're going to always be.
Buying a vinyl Cape Jawa, you need to have it in your hand to just make sure that it's
kosher. Yeah.
It's like you're going back to the auctions there. The one that was at £220, and I actually clicked on it.
Oh,
and it didn't register, and it got sold. I was
gutted.
so gutted.
Okay, so we've done our. What other toy lines do you collect? Now or in the past?
I've got the Marvel Legends. I've got my lady shelf. I've got my Leia shelf.
Yeah.
So I've got Hot Toys.
Yeah.
I've got the Black Series. I've sold most of them. I did collect all the Black Series, but I sold most of them. The only ones I've got left are signed. So I've got the Carrie Fisher signed, and most of the characters got signed.
Yeah.
Anything Leia, basically.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Leia.
Yeah. I've got the lady shelf. The Marvel Legends, I like those. Corgi, any of the out Corgis, I've just been saying TV and film related. Cars, I like. Corgi. The diecast, the 124 scale diecast, anything like that. Yeah. I've been getting some of the Star Trek playmates as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've just got a lot of Q-Tus. So, yeah, anything really. Anything
nice to meet you.
That gives me that buzz. You know what I mean? The
yeah.
buzz, nostalgia. So, man, I'm looking for a $6 million man at the moment, and I would love to find one of those.
Oh, well, that's a toy I had as well when I was a kid. Yeah, it's a great toy. Oh. Yeah. Who's his favorite lady from the lady shelf and why? So what's your favorite lady Leia?
Not including Leia. If you're not including Leia, it's Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow.
Oh, great.
I've got the Wonder Woman, but I've got three Scarletts. Yeah. So yeah. I would really like a really nice Supergirl figure though. They don't do a really nice Supergirl figure for some reason. So I need that. There's a few Marvel Legends that I want, like Jessica Jones, Peggy Carter, and Scarlet Witch. But they're just so expensive.
Are they?
I love all the ladies on my lady shelf. I do.
Oh, great.
It's obviously Leia is number one.
Yeah, Leia's for me as well, especially the first one in the white outfit. I love that figure. Even though I never had it as a child, it's just something iconic about it. Those are my top three figures: Luke, Leia, and Han, the original 12-back figures.
Well, I like the slave Leia for obvious reasons, but we can't say that anymore. So I'll go off Leia.
Yeah,
because I've got the Hot Toys one, and it's marvelous. It's perfect. I love it.
Oh wow. Do you stick with a certain line, or do you eventually drift from toy line to toy line?
Every day, every week
wind takes you. Yeah.
Whatever I feel like. If I see a video on YouTube and I think, oh, I used to have one of those, and I'll look for it on eBay. That's how it is. Simple as that. Simple as that. I mean, I've got a lot of Masters of the Universe because John Baldry sent me a lot of Masters of the Universe, and I never collected Masters of the Universe as a kid. But I love it. All of my bottom shelf is Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, I think with Masters of the Universe, I watched the cartoon, but by then I was getting a bit old, so I
used to watch the cartoon, coming home from school and watch the cartoon.
Yeah.
I never bought the figures because I was more Star Wars.
Yeah.
I think they were a bit more expensive. Same with the Transformers. The Transformers were too expensive for me.
Oh, and in those days, 83, 84, we were getting into like Commodore 64, Spectrum, and
yeah.
So
I had Spectrum then,
yeah.
You're right. Yeah. You buy computer games.
Question for me: what's Blacked Out Ewok's favorite toy in his collection? Probably the carded samples I've got. So the Gamorrean Guard, which is on a it's a Gamorrean card with a it's a Gamorrean Guard on the 2-1B card.
Oh wow!
I got that really cheap. So not really cheap, but in 2010, no one seemed to be bothering to bid on it. So I won it in May, and
nice
got it for a great price. And it's it's a piece of pre-production merchandise that so subsequently I got another one a few years later, which was the Medane on the Luke Hoth card. So those sort of things. Revenge cards. I've got three revenge proofs. I've got the double telescoping Luke. Yeah. I've got one action figure grade that's got 2 of those. So yeah.
Have you got 2? Well, yeah. So.
Then some of the foreign cards as well. I really like the foreign cards, like the 12 backs that are from other countries, or like I've got 2 Princess Leia's. I've got one on the Harbert card and one on the Meccano long card.
Wow.
Brazilian Glass Lighty, R2D2, stuff like that. So I've got loads of stuff I like. So yeah.
I've got one carded figure. That's weak, yeah. It's on a Pallet card, so yeah, that's the reason I've kept that one.
Yeah. There's a guy, Old Plastic. Old Plastic. He's got a great channel, shows all the Luke Skywalker fanboy variations.
Trying to find this channel.
Yeah, so it's worth checking out this channel because he's got a great collection of the Luke farm boys and all the different variations and COO numbers and stuff like that. So that's something I'm quite into. So yeah.
Send me a link. So I'd like to see that channel.
Okay, we've got another question. What is your favorite Star Wars weapon, such as a blaster or a lightsaber? So that's for Darth Marc to answer.
It's a lightsaber. And it's Luke's green lightsaber.
I'd say the lightsaber. I'd say the lightsaber as well. Maybe Darth Vader's lightsaber, the red one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good question there.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go to the next question.
I've nothing near.
Okay, would you say that it's all to do with the nostalgia? I.e., for example, you must have a connection with what you collect, i.e. Star Wars something we both had as kids, or is it something else?
It's 9% nostalgia. I think 10% there's something I didn't have and I wanted as a kid and I can get now. Well, if money's right, I can get now. It's like that arcade machine. I've wanted that since 1982, and I was that close to getting it, and they just took it out of my hand.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing that back in the 80s, whenever it came out. It was amazing.
82,
yeah, such a great game.
Every night after school, I'd go down on my BMX down to the arcade and play on that game. That and Tron.
Yeah. Tron's another great movie. Wow.
Oh,
yeah. I added another question here, which is, you don't like the Fandom Menace, do you?
Why did you add that one?
Well, because you just did a video about it, which I watched, or listened to. Yeah,
it's just the fact. Actually, there is one guy that I do like, which is sort of the Fandom Menace, which is Critical Drinker, which is a Scottish guy.
Oh, he's good. Yeah,
but most of they're getting views because they don't like something. If you don't like, for me, if I don't like anything, I just won't watch it. I won't talk about it. What's the point in talking about something you don't like unless you're doing it for views? But this channel, I won't name them, but this channel I'm talking about in the video is so clickbaity, and they're just on the coils of another channel, and they're getting thousands of views. And it just makes me wonder why these people are viewing them. Is it like a car crash type scenario? Are they watching it thinking that? Why are they saying that? But they've no evidence to back up their theories. Not theories. Well, they're not even theories because the statements. They've no evidence to back them up. Like a certain person that we know.
Yeah. Okay. We're on to my second page of questions now, which is the red questions. So further questions for Blue Harvest Vintage. Why do you think people collect? Clearly, it's not about the money.
It's funny. I work in auction houses, and you can always tell who the collectors are and who the dealers are. Because the dealers will only have a ceiling. And say they've got like £300 for a figure. The dealers will not go above that because they know they won't be able to sell it. But the collectors will go wherever it takes to get it. And there are people out there to buying it for the money, and they shouldn't, because it's not going to make you money. You're going to have to be really savvy to make money on vintage toys. Really, really savvy. And like me, I do deal because not so much now, but because if I see something, because I know if I see something and if it's worth £2,000 and it's £100, it's obviously I'm going to buy that.
You're going to buy it, yeah.
And if it's something I don't collect, I will sell it.
Yeah.
Was that? And I'm always honest about that.
Yeah, brilliant answer. Next question. I mean, I wrote down some of the ideas I'd have for your answer. So I put nostalgia, carefree times, simpler.
It's all of it.
The world made sense back then and stuff like that. Do you have any boxed carded Pallet toys?
Like I say, I've got the weaker carded Pallet toy. I've got the baggie, the survival kit baggie, and the box and the instructions. I've got that in an acrylic case. I've got most of the vehicles boxed. Like I've got the Scoutwalkers there, but I've got a box for that. There's two speeder bikes there, with both different boxes. Well, I know there's a few different boxes, but the square one of the flap one with the flap. Yeah. I've got an boxed ATAT. ATAT's up there, and that's boxed. Dagobah play set's boxed, but I've got it on display. Most of my stuff's on display. So I just think why keep it in the box? I love the boxes, especially with the vehicles. I do loads for the figures, but with play sets and vehicles, they've got to be boxed. Like the mini rigs and all that, they're all boxed. It's just I don't use the boxes. I keep them safe.
But those boxes, the vintage Palatoy or Kenner boxes and the card art is just so classic. Oh, yeah. It's just such a great design. That's why the vintage collection now is so appealing, because
you're right.
Such a great design. You know, it's got a large photograph. It's got the film logo. It's got, it's just such a design masterpiece, really.
Yeah. I have been trying to do a video. I've been like gathering research and everything like that for the video on toy art.
Yeah.
Stretching back to the 1930s, 40s, like Tinkies, Airfix, Matchbox, just the dying out of toy art. Dying out of toy art, yeah. If you know what I mean. So that is a video I want to do, because there's nothing like it.
There isn't. Because I've got the Boys Book of Airfix. I don't know if you've got that.
All right.
That's a great
I've been looking at getting one of those. I've got them in my basket on Amazon, but they're quite expensive. So
I got it quite cheap, but it's interesting because it's got a little bit about Star Wars. It's got a bit about, because Meccano ended up acquiring a lot of the Airfix molds, and they put out all the NPC kits, and Meccano obviously put out the French Star Wars.
I had every kit going. That's something I don't talk. It's something you don't talk about, because obviously they're all smashed. It's amazing how many you do actually can still find sealed. There's just so many of them. Because I love the. I don't know if you remember the scenes that they did, the Hoth scenes. They had an Echo base and a Hoth scene with the ATATs, and I had it all. I had the Jabba's Palace, and I love them. I'd love them again.
Yeah, I've seen, because there's a video, someone had the Jabba's Palace, and it's a great little kit. Yeah, I mean, I've bought some of the modern kits, like the Revell large scale X-Wing from Argos, and built that, and I've made a video of it. So the really good model. It's like almost studio size, that X-Wing.
In fact, the 3PO kit might be the first Star Wars toy figure that I actually got. I got the Marvel comic first. I used to get the comics every week. But thinking back on it, the 3PO kit is probably the first thing I got.
I think for me, the first thing I got of Star Wars was the Star Wars Weekly #2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
I got another one. I got the X-Wing, and I would love that X-Wing again. You know, with that
the cardboard. Yeah, you had to put a coin in the front, didn't you?
Yeah,
to balance it out.
It didn't look like a TIE fighter.
Yeah. But I remember the #2 issue. It had that because the first issue had that same art as the US comic, but the second one was brilliant British art.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got a question here from Only One Kenobi. Question for me and Old Plastic. Do you know or come across the Star Wars figure collector on YouTube from Alaska called Supreme Obliterator? Yeah, I remember him. He hasn't been on for a while. I mean, but he would review vintage collection figures like from the first wave. Supreme Obliterator. I definitely remember him. No idea where he's gone. No. There was a guy on you because I've been on YouTube since 2009. There was a guy called Micah6V8, and he did a lot of great videos like with vintage figures and some of the vintage collection figures. But he, was really like what you do with bringing YouTubers together. He sort of got me to do a interview for his collaborative channel.
Yeah.
So that was when I was called MKM Films in those days.
Yeah.
So that video is still out there. It's about 14 minutes long, and and what I said then still goes for now. It's about the nostalgia, the connection to the past. It's not about making, because I was collecting most of my stuff in 93, 94. So, when you could pick up vintage figures for £7, So,
I remember there was a stall on Leeds Market, and I used to go every Thursday and just pick up just a bunch of figures. I picked up an AT-AT and a Millennium Falcon for so cheap. I think it was about 1991, maybe that.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time I actually saw the Anakin figure, and I thought, I've seen this before. I thought it was something really special.
Yeah, because Jules Bart in his last video where he put some figures into the acrylic was speaking about a guy, a big dealer called Steve Chamberlain, and I know that guy because he used to come to the London what was it called, the one in the Royal National Hotel. There was a big comic mart in those days, and I used to buy loads and loads of stuff off him, and he's the guy that found all those Anakin Skywalkers.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's great to reminisce about that with other people on YouTube, and
it's weird to think Woolworths had those dump bins full of yak faces, and the last 17 is just 59p, and
if only we'd known.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Do you have any collecting goals?
To complete me loose run, I would have thought, to start with. I need 11 more of the last 17.
Wow.
So at least another £1,000 there.
Well, the R2D2 pop-up's gone like,
I've got that. So
much. Oh, you got it? Oh, great.
I got when I started collecting again. Yeah. £250 it cost me, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
The little fella means a lot to me.
Yeah.
So, I had to get him.
Luke Stormtrooper, he's another one that's kind of tough. Yeah.
Yeah. They're all really expensive now. I think the cheapest one I'm going to be able to go for is either the A-Wing Pilot or the Imperial Dignitary to start with.
Oh, yeah, Imperial Dignitary, because he's quite... because that one often has a nose rub as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Luke Jedi. They've both got the nose rub.
Vintage Star. Does anyone remember the YouTuber Vintage Star Wars Weekly circa 2009?
No.
I think the name rings a bell, but I can't be too,
Yeah.
But
it's like when The Force Awakens came out in 2015, a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon and started having YouTube channels, podcasts, things like that. But you don't see them anymore.
I mean, it's like you stick with it. I mean, I've always been a massive Star Wars collector, so when YouTube came along, I was just, the two go together. Like, I don't know, jam and scones, really. I like making videos. Like you say, you like making videos for everyone. I like making videos, especially when they had the YouTube editor, because then I didn't even need to shoot stuff. I could just go through what I've got and re-edit videos from, and just plonk out loads of new content or supposedly new content. I mean,
I started out on the Talk Star Wars podcast, the Toy Box on their channel. I did that for about a year or so, maybe a bit longer. And then I started my Star Wars toy podcast, and it was beginning to be a chore. I was doing it once a week, and it was beginning because I used to do the Talk Star Wars toy box daily, or a daily thing, and this was a weekly, and it was just becoming a chore. And I started doing a few videos, so I thought I'd rather do videos. It's a lot easier just to show something than tell people, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I used to get things when I was on the podcast. I used to get things from Hasbro.
Oh wow! And
I don't get any now with the videos. Weird. It's really weird.
Oh, great! Thanks. I think this may be directed at us both. Hi, that one time waiting for more great videos from you. Brilliant.
Oh, that one time, that's a good channel.
He's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Yes, it certainly is. I think I've just got a new subscriber. Bo, just subscribed. I'm glad to have found you and so many others today. I subbed to 22 other channels, all Star Wars content. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Yeah.
To me on Twitter.
What modern current toy line is your most favorite or that you're excited about at the moment?
You know what? Mission Flight. I know. I love those. I love those Mission Flight. I mean, I should say Black is a vintage collection, obviously, but I've gone away from the modern.
Wow.
They've just started pumping it out. It's just too much for anybody to collect. I'll always collect Leia. Always Leia collector. Anything that comes out Princess Leia. I've just got the Endor Leia, and that Mission Fleet. I know it's a kid's toy, but they're all kids' toys basically, aren't they? They're meant to be kids' toys. But that size. I've got one on there, but they're that size, and they're so detailed for such a small figure. I really hope they do succeed, and the kids start playing again. That's what we need. Kids start playing with toys again. Don't get me started on that one.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, with the technology now, the kids just want phones and gadgets and stuff like that.
No imagination.
Here's a question. Jedi Luke, blue saber and snap cloak or green saber and sewn cloak?
Well, I've just been gifted a snap cloak. I have not had one since 1983.
Wow.
I've not seen one since 1983, and I've just been gifted one.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So excited about it. I was so blown away. But I did have a blue saber a couple of years ago, and that all got all the collection, unfortunately. And I would. I only paid £23 for it, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But I would love that blue saber, definitely.
Yeah. I've got the blue saber loose graded. I had the chance to buy one carded about 14 years ago. Wow. And I foolishly passed it up. So, that was that's a regret there.
Yeah.
But I've got a couple of them loose graded. Both are the sewn cape though. So I don't have a snap cape.
Yeah, it's just so hard to get out of.
Yeah.
Like I said, that is the second one I've seen since 1983.
Yeah. Some people say the snap cloak is more common in the UK, but I'd say it's the opposite. I'd say it's more common in the States.
I don't know, because Obviously, got my first Jedi look, and you didn't even think about it. He had the snap cape, and that you thought that was it. I thought that and then you only see sewn ones for the next 30 years.
I've got Luke Jedi carded as well, but that's a green. I think they're a green saber, so
Star Wars, yes, it's Rob Wade's now, but it was Mark Godsif's at the time. I mean, Mark is still really good friends.
That's good. Raw Farm Boy. Going through some of the comments. What time of the past make a return? Okay, yeah. What toy line from the past would you like to see make a return to toy aisles?
Oh, that's easy. Mask.
Oh,
I think that's everybody's answer at the moment. I think it's on the horizon. But next year, I'm hoping that we do get a retro Indiana Jones line.
Oh wow,
that would be nice.
Yeah,
I've got a couple of those. I've got three of the Indiana Jones figures.
What, the 2008 ones or the?
No, the original Kenner ones.
Which ones have you got?
I've got Salah. I've got Todd, and the sword guy.
Oh, Cairo Swordsman. Yeah. I've got a couple as well. I've got Indiana Jones, loose graded. I've got
I would love Indiana Jones.
I've got Belloc, and that's the mail away, and the Monkey Man. Those are the three I've got. Yeah, but that's a toy. That's a toy line we never got over here. It's just nostalgia for the film, isn't it?
I mean, Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite film of all time. So if the figures would have come out, I would have been all over those.
Yeah. For me, I'd say if what's it called? Reaction toy.
Yeah.
What's it called? Reaction. They brought back or did a black hole line.
Yeah,
so I'd be into that.
I don't like those reaction figures. I'll be honest with you. They do with the Back to the Future ones. They just brought. I just don't. I would love Back to the Future figures. But I just don't. I don't like them. The cards are all right. It's just the figures for me.
Yeah. But you've got the DeLorean, haven't you? You've got the Lego DeLorean.
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
What was the, it's the Playmobil.
Playmobil one.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing videos over December. Get ready for those.
Okay, so next question. So many of the old lines have made a return thanks to the likes of Super 7, Mattel, and Hasbro. This is more or less a very similar question. Do you have any favorites, and would you like to get any?
I've got all the Star Wars retro. I'm not really bothered about Masters of the Universe. I'd rather have vintage. I did get sent a Ghostbusters retro. I've got Egon, but I've not got any of the others.
Oh yeah.
I've got some originals. I've got some original Ghostbuster figures, so I'd rather have a vintage.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I really have the original.
I bought that Skeletor, the Mattel Origins, because I've always wanted the Skeletor, even though I didn't have the toys at that age. And I've got a couple of the vintage figures, but yeah, I mean, there was a few on eBay today ending at 8 o'clock, but the prices was going a bit higher than what I wanted. And then I think, did I really want them or not? Or is it just boredom? Or, I haven't got money to waste.
You look at British Art Foundation on eBay. They've got some amazing things on there.
I'll have to check them out. Yeah.
Any charity store, really. Some of the stuff on there is just amazing. They won't put them in shops. They'll put them on eBay because they know they'll get the money for them.
There's a good point from Only One Kenobi. I know exactly what you mean, Mark. As a kid, I longed for Indiana Jones figures. I used to use miscellaneous figures to play for it.
I remember after watching Temple of Doom, I actually made a mine scene, our cardboard, with the mine card.
Yeah.
I used cardboard figures, would you believe?
Yeah. But whatever it was lacking, you made up with your imagination, isn't it?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
It. Kids don't need imagination these days. And this is why I think designers these days are not as good as they used to be, because they've never had to use their imagination. They've been video gamers, which is not a bad thing because I'm a video gamer, but they've not had to use their imagination. And I think it's just going to get worse.
Yeah. I mean, because I think our generation, maybe Generation X, was the last, because for a long time we had to use our imagination, because when I played with my Star Wars figures, with maybe just 2 stormtroopers and a Death Squad commander, I'd use bits of scale electric track to make the base, so just to have fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When the Black Hole figures, the Battlestar Galactica figures, they are all integrated.
Yeah,
your Star Wars scene.
Okay, we're getting to the last few questions. Then maybe you could ask me some questions, or the viewers could ask if they can think of a few more questions. So, what purchases have you been excited about or can't believe you've acquired? For me, it's that Gamorrean Guard sample, something like that.
For me, what I try and do, I always say buy complete, and I never do. I've just got me. I've got an X-wing. I got for £13 delivered. So I'm trying to find the bits for it. I need a canopy. The guns are getting sent to me by one of the viewers.
That's great.
But I've got a Darth Vader's Star Destroyer playset.
Yeah,
it's mostly complete. It just needs the legs, and it needs the top bit for the light, and maybe a bulb. but I'm fixing that. But the thing is, I fix things like that for the channel. I get them together and I like update. I mean, I've got me Pallet Death Star, and I need the canopy for that. And once I get a canopy, I can do a review on it.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, what you did with that Buck Rogers Starfighter as well, sort of...
That's it. That's what I try and do. I try and source things. Maybe get things like half built and source them. It's like somebody on the live stream last night was asking me how to fix Darth Vader TIE Fighter wings.
Yeah.
And you can't explain it. So I've been looking today for a Darth Vader's TIE Fighter that's broken to fix it for the channel.
Yeah.
Obviously, Toy Poly has already done it, so I pointed him in that direction for now.
Well, back in '79, I think I traded Action Man, not the Scorpion tank, like the armored personnel carrier thing, and traded it for Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. Yeah. But the wings were broken; they wouldn't connect into they kept falling out. So that was a bad swap, really.
Yeah.
But because it was Star Wars, I was desperate for Star Wars. Yeah. But I gave away a much better Action Man toy. But obviously, yeah. And then what else? Okay, so let me see any items. Okay.
Yeah, we always try and buy complete.
Yeah.
I always say that's one of the things I always try and buy complete, because the weapons for, especially with the figures, is just a stupid price. Stupid. I mean, the Princess Leia blaster, the black one, £60. But I got the figure and the blaster, no cape, for £23.
Good deal.
Because the gun was stuck to her arm with a bit of string, and it was underneath, nobody could see it.
Oh wow!
So yeah.
Well, the PBP semi-metallic Bespin blaster, that's about £200 to £300.
Yeah.
Just for one tiny little pistol. It's just insane.
Stupid.
But people want it, because they want to complete a PBP figure. And yeah.
If you've got PBP, you need the correct blaster. It's like I need a Yoda cane. I'm trying to get a Yoda cane. You just might as well just buy another Yoda.
Because it's so expensive, yeah.
You can buy one on eBay, they'd have £70. £70 for a Yoda cane. You can get a full complete Yoda for £60.
Oh, great. Old Plastic saying, just got a Glass Lighty R2 no saber and a Droids R2 no saber. Will cost crazy to complete. Yeah, just getting the little saber. I've got the Glass Lighty R2D2 carded, so that's gonna. I've filmed it. It's just got to be made live. So I've got a review of that. It's on my Instagram already, but I'll make it live soon. Hey Bo, will you be making any more student art movies? Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully when locked down, I need some saps to star in any art film I make. But yeah, hopefully, yes.
There's also fellow boys.
Yeah. Bubba Backer's saying, I've got to run, boys. Have to cook chicken for dinner. Nice to meet you all. Yep, nice meeting you. Thanks for subscribing and watching. Yep. Cheers. Goodbye.
That'd be a little tour.
Yeah.
That's twice I've done that joke today.
Yeah. Any items that you regret not buying when you had an opportunity to?
Yeah, this week.
Which was
today, actually, I found out it's being sold. I've been holding off and holding off and holding off. It is something I've never seen before. I never even thought about. It is Carrie Fisher's yearbook.
Wow.
It was on eBay for £120 and I didn't pull the trigger and it's gone.
Oh my gosh.
Gutted. How many of those are out there?
There can't be that many because it'd be what, 50 in a class or in the year. So yeah, or maybe a bit more actually. Yeah, because yeah. But
unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it'd be. I had the chance to buy a tri-logo jar for 40 quid and 93 and turn my nose up at it, and obviously the Jawa, which I've said the loose graded when they were about 250, because I just thought it would always be there, and then it just started jumping up in price. I think maybe when the news of the new movies was sort of leaking out, and that was now that figures what, 1,000 minimum.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay, last question that I've written. So after that, if anyone in the comments has a question for either of us, we'll be glad to answer. You seem rather keen on the Marvel Legends. Why?
I just think they're better than the Black Series. I know they're not Star Wars, but I do like Marvel. I do like Avengers, things like that. It's up there with Star Wars. Not as high as Star Wars, obviously, but it's up there. The storytelling in Marvel, especially over these 22, 23 movies, it's just all been connected. And if only the sequel saga had been so connected, you know what I mean? These three sequel movies, I'm not going to diss them because I love them. I do. I love all Star Wars. But the storytelling, the story writing wasn't up to scratch. And if they could have connected those three movies together, like the Marvel movies do,
they'd
have been 100 times better. But it's just characters. I mean, I love the Punisher. I love Wolverine. You know what I mean? I just love the characters. And to have those figures, I collect MCU characters. I don't collect the comic characters. I know that's a bit frowned upon in the Marvel collecting community. So you're meant to go for the comic characters, but I just like them. I like to say this. I've got a lady shelf, and I just want the lady characters as well as. I mean, I've got my Punisher now. I've got Wolverine. I'd like a Deadpool. But,
those are good movies, Deadpool. Yeah, I mean, like we just said, you collect what you like, so you don't follow others. It's what you have a passion for.
I mean, it shouldn't really. I mean, that's not me trying to tell people how to collect because I wouldn't do that. A lot of people would. Don't collect this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I collect what I want to collect, and you collect what you want to collect. It's as simple as that. And if I like something, and you don't, do you think what a boring world it would be if we all agreed?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep, definitely. I mean, I think back in the 90s when Star Wars came back in with a force in 95, 96, 97, you had all the new comics from Dark Horse. You had all the Power of the Force 2 figures. You had all the new books. So you were trying to collect it all. And it just, by 10 years later, it's just becoming overwhelming, and I was like, I collected a huge amount of Dark Horse comics.
Yeah.
Virtually every Power of the Force 2 figure, apart from some of the rare ones, but and it's just getting so, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, or in your mind, in your mind, the Joneses.
So many lines, aren't there?
Yeah, and Saga Blue, Power of the Jedi, just trying to get it all was just getting overwhelming. It takes up huge amounts of space, and it just
that is
and yeah. So, and when I was collecting all of that stuff, I wasn't so much into vintage because it was I'd collected most of the figures by 94, apart from Yak Face carded, and then when I got a new laptop in 2009, it sort of went on eBay and started getting back into vintage more. And then the vintage collection came out, and that was a nice line. You could go to Toys R Us and pick that up.
Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah. So that was good fun. I mean, but I've had to stop collecting all the comics, even though I've got the complete set of US Marvels, all that sort of stuff. I can't buy the new Marvel because I just haven't got the space for it. I've got to be really slightly bit more disciplined now, and a bit more focused. Even though I'm quite,
do you like it on the Marvel app? Or is it have to be physical?
It'd have to be physical. With comics, it'd have to be even the trading cards as well, like Star Wars Galaxy. That series in '93 was such a new Star Wars cards we haven't had for so long, and you collect boxes of those, and then it's just gets to be a bit too much. So I'm really behind on that, because I'd like to get trading cards because they don't take up too much space, but the comics, it's just too much. Even with the vintage collection, I've got huge gaps in that collection, especially with some of the 2010, 2012, yeah. And then it's I'm just about trying to get what I can at a decent price with the new stuff, the new vintage collection. And the Black Series is just so much coming out that you're going to have to be very selective of what you pick up. I mean, obviously the Endor, Luke, Leia, and Han, they look great. So
yeah, I want to get the other two now. I have to get that Leia. Oh.
The Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, that's something I'd probably want to get. The carded VC Boba Fett with the blue sky, which only one Kenobi's been such a champion of. That's something I'd want to get as well. So So, but
the thing is, you're never going to stop with these. If you're collecting these, you're never going to stop.
Yeah.
With vintage, you've got a goal.
Yeah. It's finite. It's finite.
Vintage collection, they're going to keep moving the goalposts.
Yeah.
But with the proper vintage, you've got that set goal. I know I've got 11 to collect. Now it might take me 20 years to collect those, but I'm patient. I'll wait.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to get there eventually.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a question now. Let's answer this one. We've got a question. What is your favorite vintage Star Wars vehicle?
Mine's there. I've got there. Got two of them. One's in the box, the two boxes. There's one there with this Biker Scout on it, and it was just on the Mandalorian as well. So there you go. It's a speeder bike.
I'd say it's the Millennium Falcon, which I got in Christmas '81.
Is it a vehicle or is it a playset?
That's a vehicle. It's a vehicle, definitely. But I really like that one. I mean, I remember vividly getting that. So that's definitely the original Falcon.
Is Jabba the Hutt a figure or a playset?
Jabba, it's debatable, really. I mean, people consider him as, he's a character. I mean, it's just his girth that makes him different, makes him stand out. But he did come with a dais as well. So yeah.
Well, it says playset in the box.
Okay, playset.
Playset in the box. I'll always go playset. We also have this argument. Me and John on the Pelly Boys always have this argument because he thinks the Max Rebo band are figures.
Yeah.
But I go down the route of they weren't carded. The figures have to be carded to be called figures. I know the Max Rebo band are figures, but it's a play set because they were in a box set.
Yeah. I mean, I got
throw things at me.
I mean, I haven't got a vintage Jabba, so obviously, if I considered him a figure, I'd have him because I want to complete that line. So, I've got the Rebo band in the Tri Logo box. So
it's boxed. It's not on card, is it? So that's how I think of it. I mean, like I say, I'm not trying to force my opinions on anybody. It's what you think, but it's nice to have that debate, isn't it? And we all got different opinions, and it's nice to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, eventually I wouldn't mind getting one because I mean I've got the Salacious Rum in the baggie, which I'm sure you've got as well. Because you can pick that up for a few quid.
I bought one for £1 at Echo Live. The Rancor.
Here's a question for you.
The Rancor is a creature.
Yeah,
like the Tauntaun and the Wampa.
Yeah, very nice Rancor you got, Boss Bounty.
It was, yes. I'm very looking for the Rancor because I've got the Jabba Hutt, the Hutt play set, and I've got the modern one in the vintage collection walls, and I've got like a diorama on the shelf here. But I want to put a shelf underneath where I can put a Rancor with a Gamorrean guard. So it's like underneath, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. I loved the Rancor as a kid. One of my favorite toys, says Mark. Shabby geek.
Yeah. I that's something I'm going to look for afterwards.
I never had it. I never had it though. I
didn't. I was very limited on. I had nearly all the figures, a lot of the mini rigs, most of the mini rigs. I had a Scout Walker, a couple of speeder bikes, and an X-wing. That's all I had as a kid. It was all the figures. It was about the figures.
Yeah. I mean, did you keep your figures from childhood, or did they get?
No, because I sold them in 84, 85 for 18 figures. Believe it or not. I was growing up. I had to like more adult things. You look back and it's not.
Yeah. Now, I mean, that's a decision you regret, I'm sure. Jabba is a creature, says Sean Solo.
Yeah.
Boss Bounty says figure on the box. Here's a good question. Is Tez a creature?
Definitely. Definitely. When you won't want to mess with.
Only One Kenobi says, you guys want to see a Rancor? Check my pending Legacy Collection reviews soon, I reckon. Yep, we definitely want to see that. Yeah. I do have the Power of the Force 2 one, but I haven't seen it for years.
I know it's the same, I know, but it's not, is it?
No.
I've got the Power of the Force 2 A-Wing, and it's the same model, it's the same mold, but it's not. I would rather have the vintage one, obviously. But I'm not paying £400-500 for one.
Yeah. I haven't got that either, so we'll be watching that Only One Kenobi. Oh, great. Yep. Okay, so any more questions? Or have you got any questions for me, Darth Marc?
It's just about grading, really.
Yeah.
Do you actually buy them graded, or do you send them away?
I tend to buy graded, whereas Action Figure Grader buys the figures loose and then gets them graded. So what prompted me to go into the grading side of thing was I bought a carded figure, and I said this on a video with him a while back. It was I bought a Jawa carded figure, and the condition wasn't as what I expected, so I was quite upset. And after crying for a few hours, I decided, and you talk about 2009, 2010, that grading was a new thing or quite available on eBay. So I picked up started collecting eBay graded figures, you
Yeah.
know, and in those days it wasn't so much the price difference. You know, you could pick up a decent graded figure for like a tri-logo what's it, near num for 40 quid. So, you know, graded. So, you know,
Wow.
that's how comes I've got so much of the carded stuff graded.
Yeah.
This year's been abysmal for me buying new carded. All I've got is one figure, and that's Tebow on the Return of the Jedi card, which is I saw that on eBay. It was a great price, so I grabbed it. It was a high grade, and you know, I haven't seen much like that, because if you look at the graded stuff now, Return of the Jedi common figures like Klaatu, Squidhead, and all of those sort of figures graded now are about 200 to 300, 400 quid, whereas like 10 years ago they were 40 to 30 quid graded. So, you know, it's a massive difference, and so it may look like I've got a amazing collection, but I never paid those huge amounts that you do now. So you know, back in the day, in the early 90s, you could go there used to be 3 or 4 different events in London that you could go to. You had the National Hotel, you had the one in the TUC, you had the one in Camden, and the one in the Methodist Central Hall in Westminster. And there was guys called like Mr. Sci-Fi, would just have pallets full of vintage figures, and he'd sell the whole lot off for 7-8 quid each, you know. And you just buy. That's how comes I've got all this stuff. So
well, it's like those proof cards you run about in the 90s. They used to have rolls of them, didn't they? And just used to cut them off for you and sell them. I thought, oh
yeah,
go back, like you're saying, go back in time and just keep it on a roll.
Well, I got my 3 graded what they're called revenge proofs around 2011. Then you could pick them up for £200, which was a lot, but you know, it was a chance to acquire them, and I did. So, you know, now you look at the price of a graded revenge proof, you're talking 1,500, or, you know, minimum would be 1,200, you know, especially in the UK where they're a lot more scarce. But, you know, that's how the market. I mean, what's amazing to me, and I'm sure to you, is that in the past 4 to 5 years, the prices of vintage Star Wars have just rocketed, and still going up and up and up.
Yeah,
and
this year's been, don't know why, really, but it's just shot up this year. This year's been really bad. Well, I think you're trying to sell your stuff, but
yeah, but I mean, I think maybe it's because of the lockdowns, because people are stuck at home. They're being paid to stay at home, and you know, they've got they might have had 1 or 2 figures. I think this is what Action Figure Grader told me, is like they might have had 1 or 2 figures, but they've had time on their hands, so they've started to hunt down more and more vintage or graded stuff or whatever. So, you know, it's just been really interesting to see. But that's affected me, because that means I only got 1 great graded carded figure this year, whereas in the past, you know, I could get more.
It's making it so hard to buy our vintage stuff.
Yeah, even and then also you asked about grading. I mean, also of the past 4 to 5 years, I mean, especially, you know, buying loose graded figures and then moving into the variations with the countries of origins, you know, that sort of thing is a whole new can of worms, because there are so many different variants for each figure. So you got the 93 figures, 93 core figures, and that's not including droids or Ewoks. But then you've got the 93 figures, then you've got all the different variations with the nationalities. So you've got the Hong Kongs, you've got the Taiwans, you've got all the different foreign variations, which is just, China. And then you've got the bootlegs. It's just never ending. And, you know, if you watch Action Figure Grader, he's just got amassed such an amazing collection of all these wonderful, wacky bootlegs. That's what our live stream was called.
I like bootlegs.
Yep. So, you know, that's just a whole new avenue that you can collect, which I've got started to collect a few of them, but you know, factory errors, paint errors, you know, all the different oddities. I mean, if you watch some channels that like Old Plastic, which just specialize on a certain Luke Farmboy or Luke Bespin, you know, you've got so many, they've got about 40 or 50 variations of this Luke single figure. You know, you've got all the different COOs, all the different ways the Hong Kong or the Taiwan are printed on the legs, all the different foreign variations like Glasslighty, like you said, China and all that sort of stuff, all the hair colors. It's just never ending. So it's just something that people really if they want to get into collecting now or getting into graded stuff, that's where the money is to get, and it's like something you can buy into is the loose graded figures and all the variations.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there were a lot of Bespin Lukes, but then I found out how many Bespin layers there are. I was just blown away. I did a video on it. I thought,
yeah, I saw it. I saw that.
Wow, bloody hell!
Well, try making one about Luke Bespin, and you know it's never ending. There's just so many variations.
I used to buy Luke Bespins all the time. I had about 13, and they were all different.
Yeah,
all totally different. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, if you watch Yorkie Bespin, his channel, he's Bo, what is the turnaround? I think I sent in a 3 figures once, and it took about 8 weeks to come back. But yeah, I mean, what's good is the guy that runs it, he'll keep in contact with you, and you know by email, and so and he Stephen Ward, and he's been helpful with me because I've bought stuff before on an impulse, and then had to have him verify if it's kosher or not, and he has, and you know that helped me get my money back on one thing, you know, that I bought on an impulse. Found out it was a reproduction because of what he told me, and was able to get my money back. So really helpful guy.
I don't think I'd send anything off to grade. Only thing I'd probably send off is like if I did get me DT low, I would definitely send that for grading. Definitely not loose, but I do like. I mean, I would buy graded stuff because I do like the look of it. Yeah. I've had graded episode 1 figures before, and they look so good. But then again, I could get a GW case and it'd look just as good, I think.
Well, that's what Jules Bart is doing. He's buying because he's got a massive vintage collection, and he's just buying the cases from GW Acrylic and putting them in those cases, and they just look amazing after that. I mean, I bought a couple of the slider cases for just the card backs from GW Acrylics because I had a couple.
Really good.
A Meccano card and a Canadian transition card, and I just because I don't want to get them graded because they've got a lot of issues. So you know, I just stuck them in there and they look great. So yeah,
like I said, my survival kit's in a GW case specifically for that survival kit because it's got the box for the box for the survival kit, and then a sliding thing for the instruction sheet.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, I've seen because Boss Bounty's done the same with his stuff as well. He's put.
So how would you display it if you didn't have it in cases? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Baggy at the end of the day. Same with all baggies, really. You can't stand them up. How do you display them? So you put them in GW cases or get them graded.
Yeah, I've got one baggie so far. I've got a couple of loose baggies that I need to send in actually, but they're the really common ones: a C3PO, which
I've got C3PO
for next to nothing, and the Emperor.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'd still like to get them graded. So you know, just I like grading. So,
is it cast do the X-ray? If you've got a boxed baggie, they'll do an X-ray.
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, because I think someone showed me that. And I remember Toy Polloy did a video where he sent in a boxed vintage Star Wars figure, and it got sent to some university or something like that. And they took an X-ray of it, and I think it turned out to be the Emperor.
Yeah,
but I mean, that would have just generated so much attention to your channel. Just got loads of subscribers and stuff like that. And it's like, but then again, it's something interesting to do.
Yeah, I think I heard about it on the Vintage Rebellion podcast.
Oh,
I love that. I love Vintage Rebellion podcast.
Boss Bounty's saying 12 weeks due to the COVID.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. It's for high-end figures. It's almost worth the peace of mind to buy grade.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you've got a
Definitely.
Final Cape Jawa, or if you've got a DT Saber look, yeah. Especially because that Saber is just so delicate.
Oh yeah. I mean, my Saber, because it's inserted inside the outer shaft. So I mean, I think if they pulled it out, it'd be quite crinkled and creased. Yeah, because it's only a 75, but you know, it's still it's a nice thing to have. Okay, let's see what this says. This has been a great chat. Thank you, Mark. I have all mocks in acrylic. Yep, I've seen your collection, chocolate chip.
We know.
Yep. Been awesome. Thank you. I'm going to try and watch you two tomorrow. That'd be great. I need to subscribe to you.
Looking forward to that.
Here's a kind comment. Yep, thank you.
He does.
Yep, thank you. Yeah. So, any more questions? Otherwise, I think because it's been 90 minutes and that's
it has, hasn't it? That's gone.
Yeah. So I've enjoyed it. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for being my guest. Yep.
So if you want to join me on Twitter, I've just changed it actually, Blue Harvest Toys.
Yeah.
So or obviously Blue Harvest Vintage on YouTube.
Okay.
Stubs.
So, all right. Thank you for watching. We're going to end now. Thank you for watching. Cheers. Goodbye.
Right. Goodbye.
Just say some good. Thank you, Only One Kenobi. Cheers. Thanks, lads. Mark Shabby. All right. Cheers. We're going to end it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.